Okay yun. Hi guys, this is Nikki, you also known as Stasis Trader, and you're watching the Awesome 10X Live Show. Here with me tonight is actually Martin Escalona, one of our partners and co-founders of Simplicity Co-Living. I'm very proud to share about the story of how Simplicity Co-Living Co-Working adapted to the new normal. So a few things to share before we begin. Why don't I introduce Martin Escalona and the Facebook page specifically of Simplicity Co-Living. I'll try my best to discuss Simplicity Co-Living. Let me share my screen today. This Simplicity Co-Living was actually here. I'll help him explain talaga the company. But the company today exists and it is really making it everyone makes it's co-living and genuine sense of community about the company makes it more affordable for people to live in prime urban areas globally. As you could see, the pictures will say to you how beautiful the mission and vision of Simplicity Co-Living is. And you could see that it's open already for lodging and accepting tenants. You could see and learn more about it. Hello at simplicitycoliving.com, www.simplicitycoliving.com. Why don't we go to the website and see a few videos on simplicitycoliving.com. So I'm proud to share that Simplicity Co-Living is actually it's really a collaboration concept of co-living in the city, and it's one of the most important trends that's happening in the real estate industry. Co-living, co-working, and as you could see, it integrates not just real estate but a lot of technology inside with cashless transactions, keyless systems, and you could understand most of this as I interview Martin. But when you look at it, it shows to you that the current generation, the millennials and the Generation X, mostly are aware of living with other people and accommodations for two students, only 8,800 pesos per month all in. And you could see that unlike your typical rooms, these are very beautiful. And so let me just show to you a few pictures of the company's website, no? So Facebook page usually, no? Here you could book now. Some people who are talking about the company, and then you could see the way that it looks like, and sobrang ganda. In fact, we are loving our simple but beautiful art decors. You can definitely call this place home. Simplicity Co-Living. Yan, kita naman sa pictures eh. The pictures will tell you how it looks like, the co-working and the art inside. It's very clean, minimalist. And I'm actually very proud of what happened to Simplicity Co-Living and co-working. So before I really, everything naman, maybe we'll ask, I'll ask Martin to really tell his baby project that's now really it's not a baby project anymore because it lives already from paper to reality. Martin, tell the world about Simplicity, how it started and how it's doing. Tell the world. We've got some Filipinos and non-Filipinos watching.
Okay, I found out that a lot of my friends are actually following your show. So
I'm happy.
Happy.
I'm happy to feature Martin.
Yeah, thanks for the kind introduction about Simplicity. But like everyone else, we got hit by this pandemic, so we had to pivot quickly. As I was sharing Nikki and then Anton a while ago, that we were supposed to open this April, but the pandemic hit us last March 15. So we had to stop construction and wait for what's going to happen. So we waited for a month, and then we didn't see anything moving towards a positive thing, no. So what we did was we converted our space into a frontline housing to accommodate our nurses who were having problems with transportation. They were getting kicked out of their dorms. Uh, but basically, they couldn't go home and they couldn't go to work. So it was Simplicity's initiative to make an effort to house them. And then we were doing this for about 2 months through our donations. So luckily, we received donations from different people we didn't know. And then it went on by I think we garnered enough marketing by doing that. So a lot of people knew we were open, and then some companies contacted us for short-term stays. So that's how we are actually surviving this time. We're from our major target market, which are students and BPOs around the area. Now we're forced to pivot by serving or accommodating anyone basically who just needs a place to stay. For one thing, we are a DOT and DOH accredited facility. That means we abide by the rules, the hygienic rules, sanitation protocols. But we were lucky that you know, we we placed technology that was for post-COVID living, such as first of all, it's cashless transaction. Second, it's mobile keys. So we don't give out card keys. We just send the keys over to your phone so you can open your room. Uh, we have temperature monitoring bracelets to check our employees on the site if they have fever or they're feeling sick or they don't even know they're sick. You know, so it's everything in the cloud. So we were actually uh, fortunate that our facility and our operations are as good for at this time. So until now, we're servicing OFWs, shuttling them in and out from the airport, going back to Simplicity, getting their test results. We have just become a multi-service brand instead of just a co-living brand. No? We turned out to be some kind of a hotel because all our tenants needed certain requests and certain needs that we had to, give and serve them. So yeah, right now we're basically surviving. We don't see a very bright future ahead, but um, we're just hoping that the economy would open again and things would go back to normal.
Yeah, I thank you for your exhaustive discussion about the company. I'd share a few things that I find interesting about Simplicity. So I'm going to share a few things on the Facebook page.
Mhm.
You mentioned a while ago about the House a Hero update. And I do recall that this is something that I was very happy to support. Simplicity Co-Living actually was doing this donation of for as little as 250 pesos. I don't know if this was started April ba? Tama ba? Did we start this April?
Yeah,
Or
April
was it
15.
parang
Yeah,
April,
yeah,
no?
yeah.
Yeah, so
We started accepting April 15.
so guys, it was a donation. It was called the House a Hero initiative, wherein for every donation of 250 pesos, a health worker, our frontliners, will have a bed for a night with air conditioning access to comfort rooms, hot showers, access to the lounge, a place to temporarily call home, especially because when pandemic indeed struck, a lot of our healthcare workers couldn't go back home for fear that they could contract. I mean, if they could infect some of their family members. And so it was necessary. So in a way, it was true that Simplicity Co-Living and Co-Working had been doing something like a donation, no? So 250 pesos a night for these healthcare workers. That was just barely break even in a sense, no? But I'm happy to say that because of that, indeed, it got mileage, and definitely a lot of Filipinos actually knew about Simplicity, and definitely to the point that he said actually VP Lenny Lobreno, that would be our Vice President of Philippines, actually acknowledged that Simplicity Co-Living here. Thank you for the kind words. Indeed, there was a letter that the VP said to Mr. Martin Escalona, of course, for the Simplicity Co-Living to be one of those companies providing dormitories, especially to the frontliners in the COVID pandemic during that time. It was an essential for the COVID, during the COVID time. I just wanted to share to people na take a look naman what happened to Simplicity. No, this is the Vice President of the Philippines saying thank you to Simplicity, and it's a thank back, right? Then there are these discounts, like exclusive discounts for students. That's 4,400 pesos for a month. Indeed, that is a very good deal. 2-bed spaces, utilities, drinking water, fast internet, daily cleaning, self-service laundry. Guys, for those who aren't aware how good the Simplicity Co-Living is, I'd have to show you pictures so that you could see that, to see is to believe, and then to go there is to see it for yourself. And you could see naman, these are the frontliners thanking Simplicity Co-Living. How neat, how nice and clean it was, no? And very safe. So
yeah, we're proud to say, Nikki, that we housed around about 50 to 60 frontliners for about 2 months. So
yeah.
we're proud to say that. Plus, as you mentioned, VP Lenny was very active in supporting our initiative. She gave a lot of help, like giving washing machines, giving internet. It wasn't really just Simplicity, but everyone involved with Simplicity,
Yeah.
plus other people, made it possible, because those were times where you basically didn't know what's gonna happen next. So
these are Filipinos just really helping each other out.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you something about this system and the temperature control. So you have one of the things I really like about Simplicity Co-Living and co-working is that it is always ahead of the curve. Whenever everyone is still doing real estate industry, they're still thinking of bedrooms. Simplicity Co-Living already knew that no, the trend is co-living. People are willing to have shared spaces. But in terms of this, can you discuss to the Filipinos out there or non-Filipinos, what is Simplicity using these wearables, or what we call temperature tracking bracelets, monitoring temperature of staff and tenants via the cloud? Can you tell them something about this property technology that Simplicity is doing?
Okay, that's just one of the technologies that we're using currently. We partnered with a company called PouchPass. They actually pivoted also. They used to partner with events, concerts, but that's the first thing that got hit with this COVID. No? So they quickly pivoted into transforming their wearable bracelets into a temperature tracking device. So we partnered up with them 2 months ago to bring this technology in, so that whenever we talk to companies, we can assure them that, hey, I'm also checking your temperature. I'm also checking your employee's temperature, not just by the contactless gun, but something more sticky, like it's a bracelet. So we will be able to monitor more effective than the contact gun. So apart from that, yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
So right now, all the tenants are wearing these bracelets, ba? How
Just
does
the
it
selected
work?
ones. It's not enforced.
Just the staff.
Just the staff and some tenants who wish to be monitored, but
Uh-huh.
it's still up to them.
Mm,
It's still a privacy issue, so it's up to the tenant to wear it.
yeah. Are we selling some of these bracelets? Do you care about discussing about these technologies, or better discuss other things? Kasi marami naman pwedeng i-discuss
Actually,
within Simple.
the bracelet kasi comes with our management.
So
The
inside
company
na the property
who
management.
owns, yeah, the company who owns Simplicity brand is called PropTech Holdings.
Okay,
Well,
I'm gonna share
we're
that
trying,
while you
yeah,
discuss.
we're trying to be an investor, developer, and operator of real estate, starting with Simplicity Fairview.
Mhm.
So anything that is below PropTech, we just offer as a as a property management as a whole. So beyond that, we have architectural design services, engineering design services, um, construction and project management, up to property management. So we're trying to cover the whole 9 yards. We develop the place for you, and we run it for you. So that's how we want to do it moving forward.
Yeah, I shared a few pieces of the website. Um, I'd like you to share a little bit of how Simplicity wants to also grow some urban roots. So I understand that not only are you a co-founder of Simplicity, but you are also the co-founder of Urban Roots Manila. This is a
Mm-hmm.
microgreens. Can you tell them something about what Urban Roots Manila does? And so Martin is actually a serial entrepreneur. I should say that he has a lot of interests, but it's very focused as well, and it's actually integrated. How does Simplicity incorporate urban roots in the plan or the vision for the future? And what does maybe say
Okay.
about like your urban roots Manila background? What does it do? Um, and maybe a few things on the article I'll share to them na rin. How this urban farm is supplying a growing demand for microgreens in Manila. There's actually
Okay.
urban roots. Yeah, go.
Yeah. Okay. We started Urban Roots 2 years ago. We wanted to pioneer in indoor farming, but our first try uh, actually failed. We bought the wrong equipment, so we quickly pivoted to microgreens. So we've been growing microgreens for the past 2 years until we got hit by the pandemic. But before that, we used to serve diet delivery companies, juicing companies, restaurants, subscription for personal use. But that got thrown away when ECQ came, simply because we don't have farmers who can come in our farm. Transportation was one of the issues, and then we closed it temporarily. But now, since we can see people getting interested growing plants at home, we immediately pivoted our business model into growing microgreens at home. So we're gonna come out with a grow kit by second week of September that gives the power to consumers, to grow and learn and enjoy with their kids, with their family. Uh, that is a very good and parang interactive thing to do. Growing something and taking care of it. So actually, the real estate, if you look at it, it's both right up in the alley. Uh, we're developing housing, and then we're developing farms. It's just that we had to close down the microgreens. But we're opening up a strawberry farm beside Simplicity, which is 300 square meters. It will be showcased by at least second week of October, until end of October. We just had lockdown problems as well in terms of bringing in the equipment from abroad. So that's the pivot of Urban Roots. Basically, growing microgreens at home. Instead of opening the microgreen farm again, we just opted to open a strawberry farm. So it's just bigger. We're just pushing the limits. But once we open that strawberry farm, we are able to we can open the microgreen farm as well. It's just that for the past 2 years, microgreens haven't been really on demand or in demand. It's just that may timing lang ngayon, nung summer, nung ECQ, a lot of people were ordering from us, but we're closed. So
Okay, it's okay. Actually,
a
like
lot of
sorry. You're
yeah,
right then. During the pandemic, what was really happening was people at home wanted to grow their own food. And
or be
I'd like to
healthy,
share,
eat
yeah,
healthy.
either cook their own food, plant sufficiency. So marami talagang plantito, plantita, not just in the Philippines, but all
Mm.
across the world. So I think the pivot of Urban Roots Manila to just sell grow kits is actually a wonderful thing. I saw that you have that grow kit a while ago you were showing to me. Perhaps show to them like what a grow kit looks like. And then you were saying, actually, I am so I'm interested because like it's gonna be retail selling for, is it 1,000 pesos? You said 1,000 pesos to grow your
Yeah,
own
950.
microgreens.
And then
Nine
we're
fifty pesos.
also accepting like resellers, whoever
Mm-hmm.
wants to resell it and uh, try to help
Mm-hmm.
push this product. You can. Yeah. So
So
it's
it's
a
a good
reseller world.
it's
Yeah.
a good gift like for friends or relationships who wants, parang people likes to plant something. It's like people give plants for gifts, so why don't you grow your own microgreens? Can you tell them a
I'll show
little bit
you. I'll show
about
you
like
here. It's something
yeah,
like
show
this.
them.
This is
Sige, pa full
grown.
screen kay Martin. He grew some microgreens at home.
Yeah, yeah.
Kaya ba? Kaya ba
Yeah,
makita?
you can grow this at home. So if I can grow this at home, definitely you can. So this is a micro cabbage. So it tastes like
Cabbage.
broccoli and cabbage, yeah. But it's healthier. The difference between microgreens and adult veggies, it's simply healthier and more nutritional because they're on their baby stage, like micro stage. So that's the time they're building up their nutrition pa lang. So you eat them to get all the benefits. So you can just mix them in salads or pastas or soups. Normally people use it for garnish, but we recommend it to for you to eat it with a salad or like just like a salad.
So this the grow kits. Do you have plans to put it up inside Urban Roots Manila? So by September 15, I'd like to invite our viewers to just go to Instagram, tama ba? They just go to
Yeah.
instagram.com/Urban Roots Manila. They will be posting on September 15, 2020, their launch of the Urban Roots Manila Grow Kit. So you could see that you could grow your microgreens. These are what it looks like. So far, in your microgreens, they can grow arugula, red amaranth, kale, basil, and more. And they can order
Mhm.
from the website straight, no, from
Ikaw ba
Instagram.
reseller ko, Nikki? Ikaw ba reseller ko? May promo code ba?
Pwede. Ini-Instagram naman kita, pina-plug kita. So basically, guys, if you guys order from Urban Roots Manila, please tag Awesome 10X so that they know that I got referred to Urban Roots Manila to grow my own food. So these
Yeah.
are what they can grow, no? For 950 pesos. You were telling me that it took about 10 days to grow this. And then my
Yeah.
lights, no? So I just need to buy it and then put it on my paano siya? Like, how does it work? Kasi marami sigurong gusto maggawa ng microgreens, but they're scared. Baka mamaya they plant and then after 1 week, namatay or I don't know. Like, are
Okay.
there like helpful ways to teach people who are really newbies when it comes to, urban growth? Like, maybe you can share to them, how did why do you think that any newbie can actually grow their own food at home? Like you were saying a while ago, hindi, I can plant nga in 10 days. You can grow your own cabbages. So
Mhm.
how easy it is, essentially. Like tell a newbie who never had grown a tomato at home or
Oh,
something. Yeah.
the picture you showed, yung with the lights, it's a more complicated setup. That's around 3,500 pesos. Uh, we want to come out with a lighter version, which
For beginners
I
lang
can share
muna.
it to you. Yeah, for beginners muna.
Mm,
Kasi the one you showed me, yung my lights, it's for medyo commercial purposes. Eh. Like if
mm,
you want to sell or if you want to supply your family who has like more than 5 members. But if you want to start, let's say, feeding yourself, feeding your friend or your wife,
mm,
you can start
mm.
with a light version coming out in a week or so. So it will give you simple instructions, like 6 instructions to grow it. So that's how easy and basic it will be
Sige.
from mixing the grow mix, the fertilizer up
So
to
all these educational videos on how to grow your own micro cabbages will all be seen on Instagram. IGTV
yeah
lang siya. Urban Roots
yeah
Manila. So
yeah
everyone interested should actually just watch Urban Roots Manila for their September 15, 2020 launch. you call it the grow kit, no? So they can grow micro cabbage or other
So yeah,
varieties.
we'll come up with different seeds. Basta yung ano lang, very friendly
Mga,
to grow,
saka
to
mga
start.
videos na parang how to cook this, ganyan. Like parang, how do you eat this microgreens? Like put it in your salad or, I don't know.
Yeah, good idea.
They can
Yeah,
also
we
go
can do
through
that.
the recipes too naman eh, no?
Yeah. Ikaw,
Yeah,
bigyan kitang tip, Nikki. Baka pwede
anong
mong
tip?
try. Bigyan
Oo,
kitang
gawan,
kit.
bigyan mo akong kit, i-Gcash
Oh,
kita. Oo,
for
sige,
ano, and then for
i-video
letting
ko,
enjoy the
nag-grow
show.
ako ng microgreens, tapos within 2 days, ito na siya, step 1, step 2,
Yeah.
bibenta ako ng
I mean, I'll give
microgreens.
it to you for free
Sige,
ano,
sige.
for
Sure, sure.
getting me
I
to your
will, ano,
show.
I will help you expand people to grow their microgreens at home. Sige. Hopefully,
Yeah.
I can really grow a tomato or a cabbage kasi baka mamatay sa akin. Hindi ko
Actually, it's,
inaalagaan. Paano
you
kung hindi
know,
ko
you just
nalagyan
need
ng tubig?
practice.
Mamatay siya, no? Patay na
Yeah, it
kagad.
will dry up. Yeah, it will
So,
dry up. So
so how
there's a
long do you
different
do
way
it?
of,
Like 10 minutes or five? You spend 5 minutes a day to just watch the plant. Like you
yeah.
water it, and then lalagay mo siya sa LEDs, mga ganyan. Well, wala kang
You can just
LED.
actually
So lagay
use natural
natin.
sunlight. You can use natural sunlight. That's the beauty of this kit.
Natural sunlight
Before,
lang.
yeah, before we were complicating it with the LED, but we did some tests over the past month
Paano kung may
or
daga
two.
sa bahay? Kinain ng daga.
Ay,
Yun lang.
ano siya, yeah,
Kailangan
you have to consider the pests.
mataas
So dapat
dapat.
medyo clear.
Kasi may
Yeah,
mga
mataas.
mabait sa amin. Yeah. Tingnan ko na lang. Pero I'll try. Sana mag-grow siya. Tapos proud ako to show. Ito yung microgreens ko.
And you can
Guys,
use it. Yeah.
Guys, let's take a look first if there are questions. Hi, Idol Marts. Good job, Martin. Sabi ni Cora Tolentino and Scapipa Shimos. I'm actually proud of how Simplicity has really adjusted to the new normal. You discussed about the hardships of most of the real estate talaga. And I think a lot of people in the real estate have really just succumbed na wala, people are staying at home, so what can we do? Wala na tayong client. It's really the truth, no?
I think
Without
that's the beauty of the noise. We're very resilient. We're very creative. You know,
very creative to serve the frontline workers and then OFWs and actually Simplicity today is serving a lot of OFWs, diba? Maybe you can tell the world who the major customers of Simplicity today are, like the clientele. In it is one of the hardest launches of any real estate company to launch in a COVID pandemic, diba? So
yeah.
how was it? Like parang sleepless nights, thinking how to pivot, no? Wait, I haven't asked you pala. So you have this mobile key access, no? So I'm just showing the screen. So our clients are using their phones to open their rooms, no?
Yeah.
The sun
Yeah.
is
So
shining.
to strict to limit the contamination for the cards, hand to hand, all of that. We send the key over the cloud. So with that key, there's a time limit. So if, for example, you booked for a week, so your key is just good for the week. So if you good for the day, it will last for just 24 hours. So it's really good. We partnered with a Korean company who provides the service. So yeah, you can see the pictures of both W. I mean, these are the frontliners we
Yeah,
housed before.
I'm just sharing right now. Ito yung haircut wherein
Free haircut si
Hero
Vice
update.
President. Yeah.
Then the House of Hero initiative, no, the food and in-kind donations. I'm just showing to everyone who's watching this show na how the Simplicity co-living looks like, how it housed the heroes, ayan.
Yeah.
So
basically, we don't have a permanent market now. We just try to serve any market who needs accommodation plus a workspace. That's it. So, but once the students come back, which is probably mid next year, then maybe we can start serving the university students again. But for now, it's just really survival mode for us.
Um, Actually, guys, what you're seeing here are yung mga from picture to reality. What's the
Mhm.
hardest and what's the hardest thing on the simplicity from baby project to now? Like I know that your wife told me na wala ka na minsan naiisip except yung simplicity. So, I am proud that, as an entrepreneur, as you are a very, entrepreneur, you discussed about the survival mode of right now. Ayun nga, parang what drives you to continue and push harder even in a pandemic? Ang hirap eh. Like a lot of people don't know how to finance this anymore. Buti na finish yung project, yung construction. Tapos ngayon, operations, 'di ba? Sobrang hirap nga eh. So
Yeah.
what inspires you to continue forward? And for everyone who doesn't know, this is not your very first entrepreneurial effort, 'di ba? You're a serial entrepreneur. Yun nga, Urban Roots Manila,
I
yung
think it's
how you
more of a lot of mentors. I'm surrounded by a lot of mentors, and I'm not afraid
pivot
to ask
lang.
questions. Um, you can ask a lot of people. Make sure to ask the right people. But as you said, partners pa lang natin dito sa Simplicity. They have vast experience running businesses, making it successful. So as long as you're in a good crowd, I think you can sail through the storm. But the thing is, everything's uncertain, especially with what we're seeing now. There's no
Martin,
really real sorry.
there's a question tayo right now. Ang isang kit po ba is para sa isang veggie? Like for the grow kit of, let's say, they're gonna buy that 950 pesos grow kit, like microgreens grow kit. Is it just one
Yes,
vegetable that you can
yes.
grow?
We want to start
Right.
with parang one vegetable per set, but you can choose between different microgreens. Like say for
Okay.
for a box, this is a box for kale.
Okay.
For another box, this is a box for arugula, because they have different germination and growing time and sunlight time.
Could
So
you tell them a little bit about like the experience of growing your own plants? So maybe they'd see you, kasi most people play video games at home, so baka the kids and the parents, they want to teach their kids, okay, sige, why don't I teach you for 950 pesos, mag-grow nga tayo ng plants at home, mag-gardening tayo. How hard can it be? Or is it just, basta mag-grow ka lang, lagay ka lang ng tubig, tapos yun na, watch it grow. What do you do?
I think if meron kang experience in planting
Science
somehow,
class.
I think you will get it. But
Tubig
if
ba
you're a
'to?
beginner,
Yung grow kit? Tubig
sorry,
and soil ba 'to? Does it have soil or tubig lang yan?
we use
Hydroponics
we
ba 'to?
use we use coco peat and vermicast. It's basically that's it. That's what we call the grow mediums. That's
Hmm,
what holds the seed and where the seeds grow.
hmm.
So may tricks lang in growing microgreens. Like you cannot water them on top. You have to water them below, because if you water them on top, they can get drowned, and molds can form, like mga ganyan. So
Ah,
you really need to read our instructions
oo.
to be able to
Kailangan talaga
successfully
ng
grow.
video kasi baka mamatay yung plant 'no, 'pag masyado ma-drown sa tubig. So like, para
Yes,
siyang may recipe book na, oh, 3 cups of water for this lang or else
yes.
madre-drown na yung plant.
Like ang pinaka-kalaban ng microgreens, mold, fungus, pests. That's it. That's why
Hmm,
very ideal ang indoor farming for microgreens. It cannot really grow outside because baka may insect or may mga cockroach. So it's ideally grown indoor near a shade, but there's sunlight. So that's it. You don't need an LED for it to grow.
okay. So
Kailangan mo
this
lang
is a cheap
mag-LED
way
pagka
to own
na commercial.
to get
If you wanna
arugula.
produce kilos. Sorry.
This is a cheap way to get kale and arugula. Just grow
The
it
mi
like
the
950
micro
pesos.
versions. May
The
difference
micro
naman yung
arugula.
yeah, may difference naman yung growing mature vegetables. Like mature vegetables take like 45 days. So the time difference alone is, is huge. So it's really harder to grow mature arugula than baby micro arugulas, because you
So,
just need
mga
like
baby
7 to 8 days. You just need 7 to 8 days, like yung mature. There's a lot of things that can happen within 45 days. So that's the main issue, and you need a lot of land for that. So with these microgreens, you just need a shelf. You just need a tabletop, and you can grow it. Here, I'll show you.
Kailangan mo gumawa ng video.
Here,
Yeah, sige.
ito.
Pakita mo nga
Ganito siya.
how long yan?
Ganyan.
Yung mga vermicast mo, tapos
Yeah.
tinutubigan lang. So, isang
ilalim.
950 pesos is one kit. Yan black.
Ito,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
Isang kit na
It
yan.
includes everything. So once you finish it, you just need to reorder the coco peat, the vermicast, and the seeds from us. But everything is reusable. So
order
you don't
lang
need
ng
to
order
throw
ng mga nung vermicast na sinasabi mo. Yun na yung nutrients, yung vermicast.
Yes, but
Wala
everyone
na
can
iba.
buy it in the gardening store. So we're just really providing you a basic way to start. And then once you learn about it, you can easily find this in your local gardening stores. But Urban Roots wants to introduce you to it. At least that's our goal.
So parang education central yung Urban Roots. How to grow your own baby arugula.
We wish to partner with schools, ganyan. Hopefully, if they come back, they can grow again at home, in their classrooms.
Are you aware of companies that are promoting this gardening thing in the Philippines then? Or so far
there are a lot. You'll be surprised, but not commercially. More of independent.
Kahit yung backyard lang, like home, like create your own microgreens at home, or
microgreens. There are a few players only.
Yeah, very few on the microgreens.
Yeah,
mostly on
few.
growing your tomato, growing your own bok choy, siguro ganon.
Yes. Ganun. Kasi I can share because microgreen seeds aren't really available here in the Philippines. It takes effort to bring them in. So that's how Urban Roots can help the growers. You can easily
available yung baby arugula na seed. Yun ba yun?
Yeah, any microgreen seeds, hindi madali hanapin dito.
What led you to microgreens? I didn't get to ask. Like practicality wise, because it is faster to grow. Is it mostly that na parang fast grow siya?
I can share you our experience. Like I think a lot of people can learn from this when they wish to start an urban farm, indoor farm at home. Philippines kasi has the most expensive electricity. So you cannot rely on the light or the LED to be on for 12 to 40 days. So you need something that's high value and easier to grow with the shortest time. So that's microgreens. If you grow cabbage or lettuce inside a farm, imagine running a light for 45 days straight, LED. Baka mas mahal pa yung
solar electricity mo.
Unless siguro naka-solar ka.
Solar ka na.
Unless
mahal din
solar ka. Yeah,
solar
capex mo. But for us, we believe that if we wanted to earn money, you need to produce a lot of, mature vegetables, which we only had like 20 square meters of a space. So we were really panicking that time. But fortunately, we were able to come across with microgreens. Tapos nag-testing kami, 2 months of trial and error. Our plants were getting fungus, molds. We were getting frustrated until we found the perfect formula to grow commercially. That's it. So it's really from scratch. Yung mga partners ko yung mag-mix ng mga vermicast, mga coco peat in the farm. Kami yung pupunta ng 6 a.m., 7 a.m. to water it. So it's really us who did it until we grew number of customers and we were able to afford to hire a farmer. Parang we trained an agriculture graduate to
Jane Tan is asking, is this available in Simplicity website or the microgreens?
No. This is Urban Roots.
In the Urban Roots Manila. It's here. Urban Roots Manila is in IG. So Instagram.com/Urban Roots Manila. So it so happens that Martin Escalona does both. Like he is also the founder of Urban Roots, and he's also also the founder of Simplicity. So I'm actually very astounded, really, how Simplicity came about. Kasi this came about because you are in the belief that right now, I'm gonna share to some people the house prices, no? So the real house prices over the past year, Martin was sharing to me that real house prices increase over the past year in most countries. Magugulat kayo that Philippines has the highest increase in house prices versus say Portugal, Latvia, Hungary, and this is coming from
Europe
IMF.
na yan.
Yeah,
Europe
nasa
na
Europe na yan, no? Kalaban mo na yan. So, reality-wise, the sources are telling us that this is IMF, so that is International Monetary Fund.org/housing. So, Martin was telling to me nga that Filipinos have one of the highest housing prices. Hindi siya affordable. So, statistics-wise, that's the reason why instead of owning your own room or paying for your own rental in a condo, the trend for real estate has been co-living, co-working, so sharing economy talaga. We have seen this, something that Airbnb perhaps exemplified. Kasi Airbnb said na if you have a home, why don't you rent it out for somebody if you have an extra bedroom, no? So it looks like yun yung talagang trend na Martin is really really seeing, and secular trend in the next 10 years. A lot of people might not be able to afford their own well, hopefully naman they can afford, no? Pero assuming they cannot afford a 20,000 pesos or a 40,000 peso rental, it might make more sense for an individual, millennial or a Gen X, or anyone who's still single to actually rent on mga co-living, co-sharing. And Martin has been sharing to me a lot of statistics talaga. Martin, you can actually share screens if you want to, or you can just blurt it out loud. Kasi I know that you have been reading a lot in this trend, the co-living and co-sharing spaces. It's been a trend not just in the Philippines, no? Worldwide siya. US, Japan, kaya nga capsule sa Japan. Even the tourism. Tourism is showing to us that a lot of people aren't really, anyway, pag tourist ka naman, mga backpackers, nakita na natin tong trend na to in Hong Kong, nakita natin tong trend na to in Japan, na capsule affordability is one of a low cost pero maganda pa rin. And that's what Simplicity wanted to achieve. Low cost, affordable, but as you could see, the aesthetics was very beautiful, very Ayala Land type, di ba? Very high-end. Do you want to share something about the mission and vision before, wait lang before I get the comments, say something about what you envision Simplicity to really be, and what's your goal for Simplicity to become, given what it has achieved. In fairness, marami na achieving Simplicity in just what, 2 years, no? Mga 2018 to
2 years was the planning stage. So matagal yung planning.
Planning,
Because
and then
from 2 floors, getting 3 floors to raising the investment, and completing everything. So the main objective of Simplicity now is really to expand, simply because we know there's a demand for affordable housing with essential services. This is not just housing. This has daily cleaning. This has self-service laundry. So it's a mini ecosystem that you can stay for a short time or a long time. With the data Nikki was sharing a while ago, you'll be surprised that Philippines has the highest rental increase every year, but we don't increase our salaries. So what's going to happen in the next years? I mean, no one's going to afford rent, right? So we, as PropTech and Simplicity Group, we see the housing crisis to be a really big problem, especially for my kids. I have 2 kids, so how can they afford this when they grow up? So the main reason why there's lack of housing, it's because simply no one is building housing. I think one of the reasons is regulations. It's expensive. The tax here when you're building a 3-floor building, a 4-floor building, you really
The
have
land
to have
prices itself is so expensive. The capex is
the land,
probably
the
hitting,
rent.
100
So
million
you really
pesos.
you really have to work hand in hand with the property owners, convince
Mhm.
them that your concept is something uh, very
Achievable.
special and achievable, not the normal restaurant commercial space that they usually put in your land.
Yeah.
So you need the cooperation of the landowner. So by convincing landowners to lower down the rent and partner and venture up with you, uh, that's our strategy. We convince landowners that they will make more money partnering with us than just charging us rent.
Mm.
Uh, in fact, that's the same model that we are going to use in our expansion in the next 5 years. So
Yeah.
we just really want to expand and be known. One reason is my family is uh, um, what you call this experienced with franchising. So if you have a working model, a working system, you can franchise the whole brand.
Replicate
You
it.
can
Yeah.
replicate it in different locations and serve different kinds of markets
Mm.
with a certain need. So I think this can go worldwide. Starting with the Philippines, but as you can see, it's not only the Philippines who are having rental problems.
It's all
It's
over the
mostly
world.
Europe. Yeah, it's all over the world. So we're hoping to prove it here. So if we can
Yeah.
prove it here, maybe we can work everywhere, right?
Jane Tan is asking, but given now that Pogos are leaving, shouldn't there be a decrease in house prices? Excuse me if the question is redundant. So actually, right now, the house prices in the Philippines might have fallen, but we are seeing that the affordability, we are talking about the affordability for a human, like in the Filipinos to actually afford the rental.
Mhm.
It's really expensive. And then there's a question: will Simplicity try to expand in Makati since there's a lot of employees that's going to and fro before and during this period? Um,
We're always looking
I'm
for partners.
always looking for partners naman,
Yeah, to
wherever it is.
collaborate
No?
with. Yeah,
Yeah,
we're always
so
open for opportunities.
mm, currently, Simplicity is the child, or you could say that Simplicity is the product of prop tech. So prop tech is really property technology. So it tries to marry the best of both worlds, trying to incorporate and teach entrepreneurs who needs to think out of the box. Pardon for the cliche. To think really differently about properties, like real
Mhm.
estate, how real estate should be done, whether it be co-living, co-working, if really that is the secular trend. And yun yung nakikita kasi ng team na it's getting more and more expensive to own your own home. Magkano na yung houses ngayon? Like
Mhm.
it's about 3 to 5 to 6 million
Yeah.
for a
For example, I'll
30
give you an
square
example.
meter,
A,
no?
a
So
condo in front of
expensive.
Simplicity is
Hmm.
4 million at 20 square meters. I'm not gonna say the brand, but that's
Mm-hmm.
over. I mean,
Yeah.
for 4 million to 5 6 million pesos, you can get a nice flat in Germany, like probably a 50 to 80 square meter flat in Germany. That's one of the researches we've done. So, but
Mm.
here in the Philippines, a condo in QC is, you know 200,000 per square. I mean, that's
Because
crazy.
of the expensive, so parang because of the expensive prices currently in the entire Philippines, we're talking about, kasi yan, I'm pretty sure you're discussing the prices of already Fairview, di ba? You're talking
Mm-hmm.
about 4 million pesos in Fairview. That's
Unfurnished, 20 square.
expensive. 'Di ba? That's 4 million pesos for a 20 square M. That's 200,000. And we were arguing na how many people in the Philippines can actually afford if the property prices are like that. So if they cannot own the property, the chances are they'll be renting. And so and today's rental, ganun na nga, if your condo cost is 4 million, you would still ask for about 20 to 30,000 pesos rental. And so
But
it makes
you need
sense.
the 10 years, at least 12 years to get your
Ang
money
mahal
back.
nung lease. And so we were saying na anyway, the children of the future, the millennials and the Gen Z, doesn't need naman all the amenities. Pwede natin i-cut yung cost and without sacrificing the quality of services. And so that's really what simplicity seeks to give, no? That is a solution. End of the day, an entrepreneur sees a problem, and the problem is really high and really expensive rentals. And if you're single naman, you don't mind. We were even saying and joking na, okay yun, simplicity, gawa tayo ng mga dating related stuff, di ba? Kasi like mingle, kasi may co-working area, the co-working area could have
Baka
a
pang ibang
Netflix
country
show.
yun. Baka pang ibang country, wag
Sa
Philippines.
Philippines ba hindi kaya? Hindi
Hindi pa
kaya.
kaya yun. Parang
Yeah.
private kasi yung tao dito.
Private
But
talaga yung mga tao rito.
more of like liberal countries, they'll be more open to that. Like
This is what
matching
simplicity co-living looks like. So actually, sa Europe, ganito talaga sila. You could see that the bed in bed, ayan, lahat yan male. So definitely, makikita nyo, it's a capsule type. And then female dormitory room, 8,800 per month. Daily rate is 1,000 per night per bed. Bed in bed, mixed dormitory room. You could see naman from the pictures how beautiful it is done. Do you mind if I tell them the backstory of the architect or kwento ba natin yan? Okay lang? Or is it proprietary? Too much information?
What do you mean? What do you mean by like how we met?
Sabihin natin yung team. No. The team who created that. So, si Architect Sok.
Yeah, for sure. You can.
Okay, guys, just to show to you, no, syempre, the simplicity looks so beautiful because, of course, we have a team partner who's actually, Sok Cadayona is part of the team. He is here, no, our team. So you could see that this is Martin. He's the chairman and CEO of PropTech Holdings. And then this is Sok, director of architecture and design. For those people who aren't aware of who Sok, no, Socrates is actually ano siya he has about
he designed, I think,
with Ayala's, yung mga hotels.
He designed the Seda in Davao. So that's how he got his feather in his cup.
Yeah.
He designed the hotel.
Seda Hotel in Davao. So parang somebody of his caliber, he also travels to Japan. So yun nga, sabi namin, you know what, sa Japan may capsule hotel. They can charge, yun nga, we were thinking $20 a night is okay, di ba? 1,000 pesos per room. Hindi man per room, no? Per bed. But you could see that even if it's per bed, it's very private pa rin. Yun nga, very private. May kita mo yan sarili mo yan na room. Well, hindi siya room talaga, no? More like a capsule. Pero, yun, even if ganun siya, malaki siya, actually, pwede ka dyan mag-wifi, kahit matangkad ka. May kita mo sa pictures na talagang it's something na we will, kahit kami, if we saw a simplicity in Japan or in Hong Kong, we will truly live there. Like tourist site namin yan, tourist hotel namin yung simplicity. So for the people who are watching this, let me just plug a little bit about simplicity. You can actually book in simplicity 1,000 pesos a night. Right now, if you have friends who are coming to Manila and they're actually looking for a place to stay, you can actually pitch to them, why don't they go to simplicity.com? They can just, you can see yan yung pictures, no? Yan yung vision and yan yung mga vision, and tingnan mo naman from the pictures to the reality. So, ang ganda ng reality. Talagang whatever, parang expectations and reality. Talagang totoo. Kung ano yung nasa picture, that's really how it looks like. So, hindi siya drawing lang. Talagang
Kami
makikita
matutour
mo.
sa inyo ni Nikki.
Sobrang ganda niya, guys. So, you can book. And lahat yan, talagang plinan yan ng Simplicity team na talagang, it is affordable, pero not, walang sacrifice talaga ng quality. Doon ako nagagandahan sa Simplicity. Para siyang hotel without having the hotel price. Pero wala tayong tagline na gano'n. Ang tagline ng Simplicity is, ano yung tagline ng Simplicity?
Wala pa.
Basta wala pang tagline nga eh. Hindi naisip yung tagline.
Sa mga next na natin.
Walang branding. Pero the product speaks for itself. Like I think that sometimes without nung una nga, hindi nga natin, I don't want to really reveal that I was part of Simplicity because I really wanted people I wanted people to see it for themselves. yun. Anyway, small
Yeah.
part lang naman ako. Consult lang, ganyan.
Big
Yun.
part. Mapahumble ka pa?
Thank you. Hindi naman ako masyado talagang ano dyan. Si Martin lahat yan. Si Martin Escalona at yung lahat ng ibang founders. Martin, can you give them a final advice? Maybe like you are a serial entrepreneur. Why don't you share to them the hardships and the successes naman? Kasi kanina lahat hardship. I'm pretty sure that, alam mo yun, kahit na pandemic, sobrang achievement pa rin to see, uy, ganito yung ginawa ni Simplicity during the hardest time of 2020. Pandemic to. Pero ito yung ginawa na pivot ng Simplicity. What are you proud of as an entrepreneur to tell would-be entrepreneurs there who are watching the show? Na parang, kausapin mo, let's say, anak mo to, anak, ito ginawa ng tatay mo. You have 2 kids. So, what makes you inspired?
From what I learned, I read this somewhere when I forgot where, but in times of crisis, you shouldn't be in survival mode. You should be in growth mode. Simply because in crisis, there's a lot of opportunities. So you just have to find them. You cannot use that as an excuse to stop whatever you're doing. Or maybe you can stop if you're directly hit, but you can always assess and pivot. I've seen a lot of businesses do that during this pandemic. Some of them really accept it and close and move on to the next. Some really do pivot, and just like us, Simplicity, since our 20,000 students in the area got thrown out the window, we were forced to pivot. So I think the only way is to be resilient, to talk to mentors, to talk to successful mentors on what they're doing, how they're coping up. But you'll be surprised, a lot of successful people are falling hard as well. They cannot also escape this.
They're also
Someone even
human
told me,
beings in the end.
yeah, someone even told me the bigger you are, the harder you fall. So be lean. At the end of the day, don't be sad if you're a small or a medium player. You can easily adjust at these times compared to a big player. Everything's set, everything, the budget is out. Mahirap makapivot. So us small guys, we are more flexible than the big ones. Let's just learn from the big ones. And I think the overall message is we should support each other. We should, like you, I'm thankful that you're helping promoting Simplicity and Urban Roots. It should be like this with other communities or other friend circles. You should help your friends, your family, share their posts, share their products. It's all we have right now.
Word of mouth, yeah. Direct na lang, direct to consumers. Actually, to add to that wonderful story, most people don't know, but Airbnb, the famous Airbnb, Brian Chesky had to lay off quite a lot of employees during this pandemic. You can imagine wow, Airbnb na nga yan. That's a very, very known brand, known company. They had to lay off about 1,000 employees, I think, this year. Because yun nga, the tourism stalled and wala talagang bookings. And then July 2020, that's when it picked up. Right now, they're trying to get a valuation, an IPO in the market. And hopefully nga, maka-IPO sila in US. Pero I just wanted you to know na, Airbnb started 2008. Since talagang sakto height of the crisis. That was the financial crisis of 2008. And what most people don't know is Alibaba 2003 during SARS. Dahil sa SARS, nagkaroon ng uptick yung Alibaba kasi online. Everyone was so scared to get SARS. So, hindi sila pumunta ng Guangzhou, Canton Fair. And Alibaba was there to solve that problem. So, parang ngayon, right now, lahat di makalabas ng bahay and Zoom video was there to solve the problem of the pandemic. When the pressure was on, ang Michael Jordan shots is Zoom video to help people connect. So parang, I think what entrepreneurs have to know is that some of the best companies today in the world were born during crisis. Talagang, it's really how it's really how you handle this 2020 pandemic, and everybody naman is starting from really a hard time, and a very good message na you shared about resiliency.
My pleasure. My pleasure. I think we're time's up. Pinapa-close na tayo.
Thank you sa lahat. Thank you, everyone. Thank you sa lahat.
Everyone.
Okay. Thanks, Martin. Thanks, everyone.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thanks.